Welcome to Enid Buzz E-Talk, where we buzz about hot topics, events, and talk to interesting people.
Yeah, we got a good one today.
We do. Well, let's talk about we always start out with the weather because it's usually either freezing or it's warm. And since today is spring break, it's actually warm.
It is warm. What was it? Last week was.
Actually, last week I think we caught another warm, so that's two warms in a row.
Oh.
That means the seasons are about to change. But anyway, before we go any further, I pinch you a little bit because it is St. Patrick's Day, and Todd does not, no matter what he said, he does not have green on.
It was green last night, I promise. I was like, oh, this will look good.
Well, anyway, everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day, happy spring break.
Drink a beer.
Ty is missing. We don't know where he is.
He's drinking beer.
He's AWOL. He could be at Mulligan's drinking some green beer.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
There you go. So anyway, today we are, behind the scenes, each one of us has a kid here, at least one kid. So we've got kids here because it's spring break.
Yeah, we'll bring them up here in a minute and let them wave.
At the end of the show. And today we're going to be talking to Rob Houston with Visit Enid. And we are going to try to get him to educate you on exactly what the Fireball Run is. And I know you spent a little bit of time on their website.
I do my homework.
So what do you think? Is it kind of cool deal?
Yeah, it's going to be real cool. I'm just sad I don't get to race.
Well, you know what we may do is we may get a junker van by then, and we're just going to follow them around wherever they go. So
I think we ought to get in the back seat of Van Hooser's car with the GoPro.
Van Hooser told me which cars he's thinking about using, and most of them don't have a back seat.
Well, maybe he'll let us plug one in or something. I think it's a great idea. Inside in the car stuff.
There we go.
If Universal will let us do it, because this is put on by Universal Studios.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I doubt those guys would let us do that. They won't even let it. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So anyway, we will be back in a minute with Rob Houston and talk about that, and so we'll see you in a minute. Enid Buzz E-Talk is filmed weekly at 580 Coffee House at 122 East Randolph and out at Oakwood Mall. Stop by every day from 11 to 1 for 50 cents off your first drink. 580 Coffee House downtown in Oakwood Mall. And we're back, and we've got Rob Houston here today with Visit Enid, and we're going to ask him some questions about Fireball Run and see if we can provide you guys with some more information. Welcome to the show, Rob.
Thanks for having me, Curtis. Appreciate being here.
Yeah. So everybody has been hearing all this stuff about the Fireball Run, and KJ Productions came out with a really cool video.
Yes.
And everybody that we posted the video on Enid Buzz, and everybody really liked it. But now everybody's like, okay, so now what is this Fireball Run? So can you kind of explain to us exactly kind of what it is and what's going on?
And what it's not.
And what it's not.
Okay. Fireball Run is what they call an adventure rally. Okay. People think of it as a race, and in a way it is, but it's not a race in a true sense where you don't have people speeding from one place to another.
Okay.
It's not a race to get there first.
Now, is there a reason they use the fancy cars? Is that just kind of just to play on the whole thing? They don't use fast cars because they're going to go fast then.
Each team actually gets to choose the vehicle that they drive.
Okay.
One team had an ambulance last year.
That group is called the Spin Doctors, and they drive an ambulance. And they've been in the run for several years.
Well, cool.
But
so you can do more than one run.
There are teams that have done several runs. But Fireball Run is basically, it's an adventure rally where the teams, they'll start in Frisco, Texas this year, and they'll end in Independence, Missouri. And all the while, they will do tasks along the route that get them more familiar with the communities that they're going through.
And they get points for the tasks.
And each task that they complete, they get a certain amount of predetermined points. And the winner at the end of the 8-day adventure rally is the team that has accumulated the most points.
And they win $1 million.
They do not win $1 million. They win bragging rights and a plastic road sign.
We hear winning the plastic road sign is kind of a pretty big deal.
It's a pretty prestigious deal for these teams. So you have to realize that these 40 teams that are running are what the Fireball Run people describe as the top 1% of the top 1%.
Oh, wow.
This are pretty elite folks. They're CEOs, they're corporate leaders, there's an astronaut. NASA puts a team together in this every year. They're celebrities. So they don't need the money. They're doing
that's a
this
pretty
for
big
the-
deal, bringing all these people to Enid. So it's kind of a big deal to have this in your town.
It is a big deal to have this in our town. It's an amazing opportunity to bring these folks here to Enid. They're going through communities that they may not have heard of before. I mean, they're starting in Frisco, Texas. You know, people know the Dallas area, and they're ending in Independence, Missouri. People know the Kansas City area. But in between, they're going to Camden, Arkansas. They're going to Ardmore. They're coming to Enid. From Enid, they're going to Bentonville, Arkansas, and then they're going up into Pulaski County, Missouri, St. Robert, Missouri, then up to Columbia, Missouri, and then ending in Independence. And you know, if you're a CEO on the East Coast, you probably haven't made that kind of a drive before.
Sure.
So, you know, you're learning about these communities that you're driving through, and that's part of the things that they'll be doing, is they'll be doing tasks that have to do with your community.
And all along, they're passing out flyers for missing children, which is what it's really all about.
That's their mission, is the race to recover. That's where you get the race to recover America's missing children. And this is the 8th year of Fireball Run. In the first 7 years, they have aided in or assisted in finding 42 missing children.
Wow. Cool.
So each team is given a poster of a missing child from their region, and they are asked to distribute them, and they have at least 1,000 that they will give out over the 8 days, that they'll get posted everywhere. There's QR codes on them. People post them. You know, you can scan to see who that child is, and so.
And we have that information on Enid Buzz with the link to the child that the Enid team is looking for. Now, saying that, so each host city does have their own team. Can you talk about who our drivers are for Enid real quick?
Sure. The Team Enid is going to be Dr. David Van Hooser, who's, of course, one of our city commissioners, and Aaron Brownlee, who is the president at Weimer Brownlee. So they're just right down the street from where we're at now. So those two will combine to represent Team Enid in the Fireball Run this year.
Okay, and what day will they be in Enid?
They will be in Enid on September 30th.
Okay.
The race starts September 27th in Frisco, Texas, and ends October 4th in Independence, Missouri.
Okay, and we had talked earlier about they do a lot of live streaming of this event as it's going along, and it's not something we can find on TV. Where do they find the live streaming and all of that?
Fireballrun.com. They choose to do it on the internet because they keep control. You know, they say this is a reality series, but you know, you think of like Amazing Race as reality, or they're not reality. They're pretty well staged and controlled. Yeah. This is actually reality TV. They put the tasks ahead of them, and then they have film crews that are following them and capturing the emotion that actually comes when they get to each task. So they keep it on the internet. Again, fireballrun.com. You can go to their website right now, and you can look at previous episodes from previous seasons. Now, the 2013 is not out yet, because it's in all the editing process, and they'll release those probably April, May, something like that. They'll have those.
We know how those editors are.
It takes a little while for well, when you're talking 8 days of footage, 2,500 miles, there's a lot of footage.
40 teams.
Yeah, and so they cut that down, but they're anywhere from the 2012 edition on back to the first year, 2007. You can see where they've been, and you can check out those episodes.
Yeah, that announcer guy cracks me up. Is that a hairpiece?
We haven't met him yet. He hasn't been here yet. They've been here for a couple site visits, but we haven't met Ron yet. So we'll get to see him September 30th, I'm sure.
He looks like a character.
Yeah, so get on their website and check out some of the prior episodes, and you'll kind of see what we're talking about.
I can tell you, though, you talked about the live streaming. During that 8 days, last year, during the 2013 Fireball Run, they had over 1.8 million unique visits to their website following these teams around.
That's a lot of eyeballs on Enid.
It is. You'll be able to, you can pick your favorite team. You can watch Team Enid start in Frisco. Each car has a GPS that is installed into their vehicle before the run. That allows people to know where they're at and follow them on their journey. It also gives Fireball Run the opportunity to kind of keep an eye on them, because this isn't a race like we talked about before. It's not Cannonball Run. So they can't speed. You know, you want to try to get there first, but you're not going to break any speed limit laws to get from point A to point B. If they do speed, they get docked points.
Oh, really?
So Fireball Run can actually keep track of how fast they're going, and they'll dock them points. And they get 2 chances, and the third chance, they get booted out of the run.
Wow.
So it's never happened in the history of Fireball Run, but that caveat is in there. So
we don't
you
have to
gotta
worry
follow the
about
rules.
them tearing through town
Exactly.
100 miles an hour, running over kids and cats
Exactly.
and dogs. And, well,
And
that's
so,
good.
so when they arrive in Enid, they're basically here for one day, and then they spend the night. Now, what are the opportunities for the public in that one day that they're here? Are there things that the public can do or needs to do?
Absolutely. We would love to have everybody show up. The finish line is going to be downtown in front of the gazebo on Randolph.
Great.
So we would love to have everybody come out. You'll get a chance to meet the teams. You'll get to see all these different cool cars. There's been DeLoreans and just all kinds of really cool cars in the past. There was the Batmobile, the actual original Batmobile,
really? Wow.
ran it one year. So we don't know what kind of cars are going to be here, but a lot of different vehicles will be here, so you'll have the opportunity to see those. And we want community pride to just really show up. We want folks to come and be a part of it. You'll get to be on TV. There's a good possibility you'll get to be on TV as well. There's a dinner that evening. It's going to be at the Enid Event Center. So that is an opportunity to get out and meet the drivers. And then the starting line, we're not exactly sure where that's going to be yet. They're still working on that. Probably somewhere downtown. Maybe we're looking at possibly along Grand, where the shot is back toward the Event Center and Convention Hall, where you see all the big banners of the Boundless, Vibrant, original banners. That's one of the areas we're looking at as the starting line the next morning, October 1st, as they head out of town, probably around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, because they're going to need a big area for 40 cars.
40 cars.
Yeah. When will we know who the other racers are?
As Fireball Run they'll announce that through their website. They'll post the different drivers as
And as we
time
find
gets
out
closer.
that stuff, we'll keep all of Enid updated on Enid Buzz as well. You guys will
Absolutely.
too. I think we're going to have a lot of people in Enid covering this because one of the other facets of this deal is the connection that some of these CEOs and company owners have with the cities. Tell us maybe one story of what happens when there's the connection between those two.
Well, a neat part about Fireball Run, again, these are, like we said, the top 1% of the top 1%, a lot of CEOs and major corporations. And Fireball Run has a staff person whose sole responsibility is economic development. And what he does is he gets himself familiar with the communities that he's going to, and he also knows the teams that are running. And so once they get to Enid, he'll pair you as a driver in Fireball Run up with you as a business leader in this community and say, hey, I want to introduce you guys. And then now it's up to you to make any kind of connection that could possibly lead to some economic impact later on. But that's something that Fireball Run has really emphasized is trying to bring more economic impact to
And
the
that has
community.
happened. There
That
have
has
been
happened.
deals done just because of this run.
There was a community a few years back that had a downtown that was kind of decaying, wearing down, and they were offering any building in the downtown area for $1, provided and there's different things that they would have to do in order to meet the requirements of this. Well, this gentleman says, well, do you have a Dollar Tree in your community? And they said, no, you don't. Whips out his wallet, says, here's $1, and says, you do now. It was the CEO of Dollar Tree, and they came in and they built a Dollar Tree, and now that community is being revitalized thanks to that Dollar Tree being built in their community.
That's pretty cool.
So the economic opportunities that could come from this may not happen immediately. It may be a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road. But the thing about Fireball Run is all these episodes will live on the internet forever. Like I say, you can go back to the 2008, 2007 Fireball Run and see what they did back then. Enid will live on the internet through Fireball Run. And the thing is, we want to create such a wonderful event and a memorable event that these CEOs are going to go back home and they're going to say, we just did this great 8-day Fireball Run, and the place that we really loved out of all of those was Enid, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and that's why we're talking about it this far out, because we just want to build up a lot of momentum for this, because let's make Enid the biggest city, the most with the most outpouring that they go to, and put ourselves on the map with this, because it's such a huge opportunity.
Everybody plan a day off. I think it's a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday.
Yeah,
September 30th.
we'll keep pounding the information, of the time and the place that you need to be and the things going on. And
most of the public activities will be in the evening, late afternoon, early
people
evening.
are off work. Well, great.
People will be off work by then, and
Okay.
just
Be
head
nice
downtown
weather.
to the finish line. We're hoping.
Nice weather.
We're hoping, but rain or shine, it will roll through on September 30th.
Cool.
Okay,
Awesome.
well, great. Well, we appreciate you being here, and again, this is just a start. This is to kind of give everybody an idea of what the Fireball Run is. We will provide more details later. And Rob, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity, and just folks, mark your calendars for September 30th. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll meet a lot of fun folks, and hopefully, let's put a good face on for Enid.
Great. We'll be back in a minute.
Wow.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That Fireball Run's going to be kind of a cool thing for Enid, isn't it?
I know it.
So anyway, we've kind of multiplied here on the show. Is there a reason why you guys are here?
Why are you guys here?
Spring break.
Spring break. It is spring break in Enid, and so we kind of had to bring our kids to work with us today. So who do we have?
This is Derek, one of my children. This is Sierra, one of my other. No, she's almost one of my children.
The guy behind the camera, she belongs to him, so there is a guy behind the camera. I've got one here named Piper and one over here named Cheney. So those are our kids that are here today. Not all of Todd's kids.
You would think Piper being older, she'd be taller, but her little sister's taller, isn't she?
Yeah, they're kind of flipping around there. So, and I think, I don't know about these two. If they have green on or not.
No, they're not.
So
Those two
I made sure my kids wore green today. So anyway, so that's the show.
Good show.
Fireball Run coming up. Spring break. Getting ready to head to Florida for a couple days. And you just got back from North Dakota. We did the little Skype thing with Todd last week. We don't know where Ty is, but we'll find him next week. And I don't know who we're going to have on the show next week, but we will.
Either next week or the next week. I think we ought to have the artists that are contributing, or at least some of the artists.
Oh, that's a good idea for the
Paul
Free Art
down,
Friday.
Get Paul down, and I think if we do, I think it's not this coming Monday, but next Monday would be the Monday before that.
Yeah, we may do that, and we'll have them bring in some samples. So we'll get that going, but you can get all the details on the Free Art Friday, the Fireball Run, everything at enidbuzz.com and facebook.com/enidbuzz. Don't forget to get the mobile app. It's free on iTunes and Google Play. We're up to about 3,200 downloads on that. And if you want to advertise, contact us at buzz@enidbuzz.com. If you'd like to send in a story or be on eTalk, contact us at buzz@enidbuzz.com.
Come on down.
So any last thoughts from you all back there?
Was that a good show this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want you guys to get us out of here with, everybody say, we'll keep you buzzing.
You ready?
Ready, set, go. We'll keep you buzzing.
buzzing.